Okay, let's jump right in. Today we're doing a deep dive into the really fascinating world of hypnosis.
Specifically suggestibility, right? How the unconscious mind interprets conscious commands.
Exactly. And our source for this is a YouTube transcript, Unlocking the Mysteries of Hypnosis, Suggestibility from the Quantum AI Coach.
Good stuff. So our mission today.
Yeah, the mission is to unpack the mechanics described there, figure out why the unconscious even responds and what makes it, well, kind of tricky.
Right. And the source starts with a pretty fundamental point.
Yeah.
The unconscious mind can understand conscious instructions. That's the whole basis for suggestion working at all.
So simple commands like close your eyes, that's straightforward enough.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Conscious mind gets it, unconscious mind can execute it. No problem there.
Okay, but here's where the source says it gets interesting. Ambiguity. That seems to be a huge factor.
It really is. How a command gets interpreted isn't fixed. It depends heavily on context and really on the individual client.
Their needs, their understanding at that specific moment.
Precisely. The source gives a great example. A hypnotist says, go inside and experience a pleasant sensation.
Okay.
Well, that instruction presupposes, it sort of assumes, the client actually knows how to go inside.
So if they don't consciously get what go inside means for them.
Exactly. The conscious mind hits a snag. It doesn't understand, and that can actually cause resistance. It blocks the suggestion.
So the takeaway here, according to the source, is you absolutely have to start with conscious understanding.
Yes. Initial training, clarification,
Yeah.
making sure the client knows what these potentially abstract phrases mean before you try to get an unconscious response.
So you build that conscious familiarity first. Like, what does access a calm state feel like?
Right. And once that's established, then the hypnotist can, as the source puts it, retask them. Use that understanding to apply new commands.
Building what did the source call it? A bridge.
Yeah, a bridge.
Yeah.
Connecting the conscious grasp of the idea to the deeper unconscious mind, making it receptive.
Okay, so the bridge is built, the unconscious is open. But even then, ambiguity is still there, like pleasant experience.
Totally. What's pleasant is subjective, isn't it? It varies hugely from person to person.
Which means the hypnotist has to keep paying close attention.
Constantly monitoring. The source talks about tracking cues, sometimes really subtle physical things like, changes in blood flow, breathing, heart rate.
See if the suggestion is actually working as intended.
Exactly. And if these signals are murky, or maybe things are going in the wrong direction.
Like towards sadness instead of happiness?
Yeah, precisely. Then the hypnotist can step in, use that bridge they build, and gently guide the interpretation. Nudge it towards the desired feeling.
Makes sense. And the source also mentioned embedding more commands later.
You can, definitely. But it hinges on maintaining that connection. Rapport and trust, the source says, are absolutely vital, foundational, really.
Without trust, the whole thing falls apart.
Pretty much. So let's tie this together from our deep dive. We've seen the unconscious can interpret commands, but ambiguity is a major challenge.
Right, highlighting the need for that initial conscious training building the bridge.
Then there's the ongoing monitoring, guiding the interpretation.
All resting on rapport and trust.
Exactly. The source summed it up nicely. Coaching, accessing the unconscious, understanding presuppositions, deepening and directing the state, and tracking and interpreting states.
So why should you, our listener, care about all this?
Well, it really shines a light on that complex dance between our conscious thoughts and our deeper, maybe less accessible mental processes.
Yeah, it shows how communication, how suggestion can actually work to influence our inner world, whether it's for ourselves or when we interact with others.
And maybe here's something to chew on. If even in hypnosis, getting a response depends so much on the conscious mind understanding the instruction first. What does that tell us about how clear our communication needs to be in any situation where we're trying to foster understanding or, encourage positive change in ourselves or with anyone else?